Hey, it's your girl, Nettie B.
And it's Reema L, and you are tuned in to the Sugar and Spouse podcast, where we'll discuss all the sugar, aka the tips and tricks to make your wedding planning journey a bit sweeter.
And don't forget the spouse, which are ways to keep that spark alive before and after the I do's. We'll also highlight professional vendors. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Drop to the back, but try to remind yourself every now and then.
Mm-hmm. And also, don't forget your friends. So, like Nettie said,
what about
your friends? Don't forget that you have them. Okay, just because you're married doesn't mean you can't have a girls' night, head out for some drinks, go to brunch, and enjoy being with your friends.
Yes,
so they're there by your side to get you through that wedding time. Don't make it seem as though, okay, I'm married now, no more hanging out. Come on.
Yes.
You still have life to live.
You do. Do not forget your friends. Start a podcast with them.
Yeah, there you go. Chat it up.
Or tune into ours, but like make it a thing. But
either one would help with the wedding blues.
And journaling is pretty cool too. You don't even have to have a wedding blues journal. I think that's a pretty awesome.
Yeah, a lot of people are into that.
Yeah, I try so much. I have so many journals that I have started and have not completed, but I love them.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I started using a planner. So I tried to be tech savvy and like, oh, my phone has reminders. I have these calendar updates. I don't use it at all. So I'm like, let me give this a shot and just go back old school with pen and paper. And so far, so good. I'm staying a little organized,
Oh, yeah.
It's helping a bit. So,
that.
You know me, I'm quick to say, yeah, I'll be there. And then the there comes. And like, wait, I said that? I didn't know that was going on.
Oh, yeah. I gotta be there 5 other places.
Exactly. Learning about yourself. It's good. Good thing.
Well, that is very true. And speaking of ways to, combat post-wedding blues.
Yeah.
You could plan your honeymoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did say that was one of the tips. And you just went on your honeymoon, didn't you?
I know. And now I want to talk to you all about planning your honeymoon. I know you guys probably got questions. You're tuning in. Like, how are we going to plan this? What is it about? Mm-hmm. And I think that you should definitely go on your honeymoon. It is such an easy thing to not happen. I know so many couples who say they're going to have their honeymoon and then 10 years go by, 50 years go by, and they never do it. Mm-hmm. And I'm here to tell you that it's totally worth it. Like, even if you are doing a destination wedding, maybe you could just as simply as just like extend your time in your destination for your honeymoon. But I think it is totally important. And at first I used to think, oh, it's not important. But it really is. I had a blast. So.
Yes. And as previous brides, we both know how overwhelming and intense it gets after the ceremony, leading up to the ceremony. Reception, you might have a little break and can party a little bit, but then you're getting bombarded by everybody who loves you to want to take a photo with you and your new spouse. So just to have that alone time to reflect on all of that. Having that time to reflect on everything from your wedding day. That's what the honeymoon is for. It's now you and your spouse have that alone time to just be with each other without the parents, without the friends, without Auntie Betty coming in to try to take a photo every 5 seconds or whatever. It's necessary to unwind from all of that.
You cannot overstate that. I second that. Like, it's really important because you guys ideally, like, say, not ideally, but pretty much you've went through however much time planning. And even if planning for your wedding was a breeze, you still did this monumental, like, action in front of all the folks, and like this big life-changing step that you just made, and you don't want to just let it fall by the wayside. It's really good to take time to reflect on that, what you guys just did, and just enjoy each other and enjoy your time. Plus, going on a honeymoon trip, if you guys decide to go away, even if you do something like rent a hotel in your neighborhood, if your neighborhood, your hometown has a nice one, just telling the folks that you're there for your honeymoon, you get like some little perks.
And a honeymoon doesn't have to be super extravagant unless you want it to be. A honeymoon can be anything. You can take a quick trip to somewhere right out of your hometown or something, but just so that way you guys can plan to have that time with each other. Up until this moment, it's been you, your bridal party, your parents, your family, your friends. So now it's just the two of you after you've made this huge leap, and you can do it anywhere. You don't have to go to Bali or Maldives or wherever. You can go wherever you desire and enjoy your time. So speaking of locations, Nettie, where did you go?
I went to Japan. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I will 100,000,000% recommend Japan for honeymoon. And I know it doesn't really sound like a traditional place, but if you want to do, the country is huge, it's beautiful, it's so rich in culture, and they really have everything that you would want to do. So I would just say, if you are already, if you haven't looked into it, you should. And please feel free to DM me, hit us up if you need itinerary questions, because I can help you, give you all the pointers that I had in my itinerary. And I really want to go back. It was so monumental. My husband and I, even before we were married or whatever, we've always independently wanted to go. It's just one of those trips that we were like, oh, I definitely always wanted to go. And then we were like, why don't we just go for a honeymoon?
Nice.
It took us time to plan it. Not gonna lie to you. So we didn't go directly after our wedding. But we did go about 8 months out. And that timing was actually perfect. And we could have went later or earlier, but I think that time gap to plan such a big trip was worth it.
Right. And then you guys are also moving too. So,
Yeah, we did a lot.
So I guess whatever your situation is, it'll be different for everyone. I guess traditionally you go right after, but that's not etched in stone. You don't have to go right after the wedding. Definitely can plan it whenever you guys want. And I think it's so sweet and special that you both had that tie to want to go to Japan, and you guys are able to together for a honeymoon. That's sweet.
Thank you. All right, Ree, how did you plan your honeymoon? How did that go?
All right, it's not as sweet, okay? We decided to get married in September, and my husband and I, we love to travel in the Caribbean. So we, of course, didn't pay attention to the time we were getting married and when we wanted to go on our honeymoon, because September is definitely hurricane season. So that crossed off a lot of islands on our list of where we wanted to go. But we didn't really plan it ahead of time. We actually forgot to think about it until I want to say a week before. It's hey, did we book the honeymoon? Where are we going? So we got together, we decided on a place, and we headed out. We went to Mexico for 8 days. That's another thing I wouldn't do again either. 8 days is a long time. But
what part of Mexico? What part of Mexico did you guys go?
I'm gonna butcher it, but Puerto
Vallarta?
Yes, Vallarta. There we go. Am I saying it correctly?
I don't know. That's really hard because it's the Vallarta. Vallarta. We're killing it, but
maybe. Yes. Okay. There,
Okay.
that place.
Nice. I feel like that place is a little bit more romantic and like less people go there.
Oh yeah, the resort we stayed at was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Every time I go, I want to stay there. Like it was adult only, very mature and cute and sexy. Loved it. We took excursions like every other day. It was a great time. Great time. Definitely can do it again and again.
I love that. And you guys just planned it on a whim, right? Like,
yeah,
let's just get this out the way.
Yeah, it was kind of like we have to plan a honeymoon, don't we?
Yes.
Completely thought otherwise, but we got it together. And what I would say is a good, helpful tip, if you are talking about honeymoons ahead of time, or if you guys have a place in common like Nettie and her husband had, then at least you can start planning it financially. And then there's some booking sites that allow you to pay in increments, so that way it's not a hard hit at one time.
Yes. So if you are traveling far away, I know that for us, we booked all of our lodging, pretty much all of it, through booking.com. And what we really like about booking.com, this is not a commercial, but it's true. They do have the option of certain, like, you can search through like no prepayment, which basically means you can book it without having to put any money down, and then you can pay in increments. And their cancellation window is pretty large and is a very clear app to use. I thought it was really cool. Like we've used it for a couple of our long trips, but neither one of us have ever been to Japan or Asia or the East at all. And so it was surprising. It was so smooth. Like we were able to pay for everything before we got there. We didn't get there. No one was like, we don't have no record of you trying to be here. It was pretty cool. And in the process of booking it, like we put down we booked nights for a bunch of different places and then just like canceled them as we did research, and it was like, not a big deal.
Oh, okay, so that's convenient. Yeah. And I know with Expedia, I think they use like Afterpay. Is it Afterpay?
Yeah, Afterpay.
Klarna. So some of the websites is getting on to, I call it like the modern what is it? Not layover. Layaway. Modern day layaway. So you can book your stuff now and pay it later.
Yeah.
So it's really convenient for people who don't want to have that hard hit of a trip after paying for wedding expenses.
I can totally see how couples fall into the pitfall of like, oh, this is another expense. I don't want to do this honeymoon. And like just from personal experience, I really think it's worth it. So just do something that's within your budget and works for you and your significant other.
Absolutely.
It's really, really, really worth it. You guys will be so happy.
And like I said, that is your time to be with your spouse. Okay. So yes, everyone loves social media and we all want people to see what we're doing. But don't forget, this honeymoon is for the two of you. So don't take the time out to sit there and send messages or post on Instagram, TikToks, and all kind of stuff. Yes, they're cute, but don't make that the entire honeymoon. This is the time to build.
Yes. And then hot take, you look a little crazy just posted every second.
Every
so you're supposed to be on your honeymoon. It's just like,
yeah, because if I see you every day posting, it's like, are you guys, is it you're okay?
Okay. I just picture your spouse.
Yes.
Just sitting there looking at you post, like, if you're posting all the time.
Yes. It's like, hey.
I think the frequency should be like, you shouldn't want to be posting like the frequency that you would post if you're like on a French trip.
Right.
I agree. Something like that. But you kind of want to like just keep that in mind. But to each his own, Sometimes some folks are really into social media, but
it brings them joy. So if that's you, enjoy.
Like if you guys are a couple that like blogs or you want to blog and share that experience.
Like that's your thing, yeah. Like that's a form of journaling too.
That is true. So that is different from just, hey, on a plane, doing this, doing this.
Imagine from everything, stepped into the airport, walked down the strip, got on the plane, seen the clouds, got off the plane, checked in with you, walked to your room, we saw your bed, like enough. It's
enough. All right. Well,
enjoy your man or your woman. Enjoy them.
Enjoy your person.
That's it. So I am excited to get into our now new named segment, Vows and Views.
Yes.
This is our formerly known as our Reddit on Reddit. We decided to rebirth it.
Yes.
Vows and Views.
It fits with us.
Yes. And if you've tuned into our first season, you would know this is the part of the show where we read a scenario that we found related to the topic we're talking about today, and we give our thoughts on it. So, Nettie, what did we find today for Vows and Views?
Let me get into it. So, this distressed person writes in, please tell me I'm not alone in thinking my wedding was not the best day ever, like everyone claims it will be. I got married earlier this month, and don't get me wrong, there were pieces of the day, like our first look, that I absolutely loved. But I don't really look back on that day with overall joy. More so anxiety than anything. More anxiety about like, I wish I would have spent more time with my now husband. I wish I would have danced more. I wish I would have gotten more photos with our dogs and not been afraid of getting my dress dirty. So just tell me I'm not alone, and because I'm struggling hard. Sis needs help. And I know my husband is sick of me venting about it.
Yeah, they get tired of it after some time, right? Like, all right, enough. But nah, I sort of relate to this, because there's a whole list of things that I wish I could redo. Now, I wouldn't say it wasn't my best day ever, but I would tweak it a bit to change some things up. I definitely agree with the not spending enough time with my now husband, dancing more, actually taking more portraits with my now husband or by myself, because I don't have any. But, those things you don't think about in the moment. So it's good to be prepared.
Yes. Do you still feel any anxiety when you think back on that day?
Not as much, because it's like, what can you do now? The day came, it went. Everyone had a grand old time. But I just look forward to a time where I can attempt to do it again. Like, if we make it to 10 years, I plan on doing that reception over.
That's lit. All right. So what about like the month that you did get married and you're thinking about it? Did you still have, when you thought about it, did you feel like the way that this bride felt? Like that sense of anxiety, like, I thought about my wedding day, it just feels, yeah, it happened.
Yeah, definitely had that feeling, because it's right after. And you ever had like a project, or like, even if you got into a debate, let's say with somebody, and in that moment you can think of your finest comeback to say in that time, but then the time is gone, so it's like, I should have said this, I should have did that. That's how I felt. I felt like, I don't have a picture of myself in my dress. I don't even remember dancing on my wedding day. I don't even remember drinking. Like my day, I felt more so like I wanted to ensure that everyone else had a great time. And it sounds like they did, but it was at the sacrifice of me not having a good time, which I'm seeing now. So if I could go back, I would think like, okay, this dress gets dirty, who cares? This is the last time I'm wearing it. So enjoy my time and have fun. Yeah,
I think that like, as good as things went for me, I still, like coming up on a year out, it still burns.
What's burning?
What burns? All right, certain things burn. Let me tell you what burns. I didn't get pictures with like people that like were really close to me. Like, I don't think I have like one professional picture with just me and my sister-in-law, or just like me and my brother, or me and like each one of my bridesmaids. I don't have that. Like, there's just so many things that didn't go the way I wanted them to go. But
yeah,
and especially the photos. The photos are where it burns the most for me, because I'm like, that was my keepsake. But you know, we can't capture everything, but it really is important to make sure that you have the things that are important to you.
absolutely, because you can't do it again. Ideally, you don't do it again. Well, at least not with that person. You don't do it.
No, it's the moment. It's this.
You know, that moment is had and it's gone. So if it didn't happen then, it's over. But on the plus side, you have us to warn you about this ahead of time. So when you think about these things, you can be like, hey, on my wedding day, I want to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Have it down. Tell your husband, tell your wife, tell your bridesmaids, tell your groomsmen. So that way they can assist with making sure that happens. And don't worry, this season we're going to get all into it.
And then another thing though is that nothing is ever 100% perfect, and
Never.
The pain gets better with time. So like, bride that wrote this in, just know that it won't be so intense. You know, as you get further and further away from that day, it won't be so bad. And if you haven't already had your honeymoon, I feel like that is a good place to make up for things. And I feel like that's what happened to me. When we did our honeymoon, which was everything we really wanted to happen, and the time, like, I really missed my now husband during my wedding. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm really happy that we got that chance to, just be together again. And it was something that made me feel better. And
yeah. So, right, you can look forward to planning an elaborate anniversary party. You know,
yes.
You can do it again. You can dance. You can take the pictures with your dogs. All of it.
You can. You totally can.
And it'll be beautiful.
It will be. And also, guys, you don't have to plan your honeymoon a certain time. You know. Like, when you look up a bunch of things online that help with wedding planning advice, you'll get a lot that's book your honeymoon 4 months out, book this, book that. The truth is that especially if you're someone who's footing the bill for your whole wedding, you might not really have it to also, now I'm going to add a trip on top of this, and you might not feel like you want to sacrifice having that trip just because you can't afford it to do it right after the wedding. So just know you can plan it on your own time. You can do it whenever.
Just make sure you do it whenever you can do it. Make
sure you try not to go past 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years is wild. That's just a couple trip. That's just an anniversary. It's no longer honeymoon, I think.
Okay, yeah, don't go past a year and a half or whatever, because you have to consider the weather of places and the high and low seasons.
Yeah, and then the fact that you got married 2 years ago, so that honeymoon time is over. Real problems started setting in.
I don't agree.
We're gonna agree to disagree. At that point, you and your well-seasoned husband, wife, person, they're just taking a trip.
You know your spouse is just a trip? They don't gotta know that. Y'all could go and say it's your honeymoon, book it again. Who's gonna stop you?
Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, when you go on your honeymoon, this is a gem that I received from our married friends. I passed it on to Nettie when she went on to her honeymoon. When you leave to the airport, bus station, car, whatever source of transportation to your honeymoon you're going to take, you make sure you have on those damn wedding shirts, okay? The Mrs. and Mr., Mrs. and Mrs. Let everyone who you're coming across know that you just got married. You know why? Because you're going to make so many new friends. You're going to have so much marital advice from these people you're going to see in the streets. They're going to buy you shots. They're going to get you drinks because they want to help celebrate these nuptials with you.
Yes.
So why not get those perks?
Yes.
Wear the merch.
We did. Actually, my husband and I, he's so literal. So I'm like trying to look for cute Mr.
Uh-huh.
And everyone is like, he was like, how are they going to know we're married? I want this shirt that says just married.
The Mrs. and Mrs.
I was like, Mr. and Mrs. No. I was literally said just married, whatever. But it was totally worth it. Like, people were giving us so much love, and the stewardess were really sweet. Everyone was super nice, and then when we landed, it didn't matter because someone could read what our shirt said. But on the way there, it was really, really such a wonderful experience. And we did get advice, and we did get offered drinks, and we did have like a really good time. So yes, it's a plus. That is the best advice. One of the best advice I got.
It's such a loving experience. It's like, yeah, that I got married. This is so
Me
nice.
too. And people will tell you, like, we married 50 years. I married this amount of time.
Oh yeah, you'll hear all their life story about everything. But it's very cute. It's nice to like start your honeymoon off with all that love and support from people you don't even know. So
this is true.
Give it a try.
Yes, and don't forget. Nothing. I totally forgot. I just forgot.
You done forgot what you was gonna say. Don't forget.
I was gonna say it.
All right, so we made it here to the sugar and spouse sweet tunes.
Boom, 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 boom.
So yeah, so Nettie, what do we do here in Sweet Tunes? Let them know.
All right, so if you're planning a wedding, you quickly find out that you're gonna need songs for so many things. Like, what is happening? You become a DJ out of nowhere. But don't worry, we've got you covered. We make these lists of songs that are great to be used in your wedding, and you can use them for any aspect, like your wedding, walking down the aisle, ceremony music, the actual reception. Use them at your bridal party. Use them forever. All of these songs are really great, tried and true, and we love them, and I think they work, right, Reem?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know it was hard finding songs when the DJ said, "Okay, I need the song your mom is gonna come into, your parents, this person, that person, the bridal party." So it was a solid list of at least 10 songs that I could not think of. So hopefully this helps you out.
Yeah, for sure. And like, make sure your personality is showing through. But
absolutely.
If you see through our choices, you'll realize that you can pick what works for you.
Right. Or you probably didn't think like, oh, I wouldn't have used that for a wedding. And then you listen to it, it's like, I used that for a wedding. Yeah. So, let's get into it. Nettie, what was your pick this week?
Okay, so this song is called The Best Part by Daniel Caesar featuring her. Both very amazing artists. It's very beautiful. I'm pretty sure you guys heard the song. If you have not, check out our Instagram so you can hear our song. But I love it because it makes me think like what I feel about, or what I would feel about the person that you get married to. Like, this is probably how you feel about your spouse, or how yes. Oh, even better, because like sometimes I'm a little self-centered, but I'm like, ooh, you feel about me.
Yes, the lyrics of this song are beautiful. It's so sweet. It's like,
it is.
Love it.
What about you, Reema? What's your sweet tune?
So I heard this song as my husband was editing a wedding video, and I've been playing it nonstop. And I said, I cannot wait until we start recording again, because this is my first song I'm adding to this playlist. This is For My Hand by Burna Boy featuring Ed Sheeran. Have you heard it?
Nice. Yeah, so good.
Oh my gosh, I love that song. The lyrics are so sweet, and it's not even that long of a song, so you can use it as like a highlight. You can use it as like coming into the reception, and it's such a lovely song. Please listen to both of these picks if you're into lyrics. these are your top 2.
Yeah, you can find the list of the sweet tunes, like our full playlist on
YouTube,
Apple Podcasts, and Apple. I made a playlist, and then also YouTube for sure, so you can see the visuals. And then of course head to our Instagram, because we'll definitely post it so you can hear it there.
Absolutely, check us out. For now, here we are to the sugar and spouse tip of this episode.
Oh yeah, we're already here at the end.
Yes, yeah, we made it.
So Ree, would you like to just explain what we do at the end of every episode?
Yes. So this is like our wrap up, like I keep saying, tune into the first season and then you'll know exactly what these are. So we give our sugar tip, which is just us giving that sweet tip to help with the wedding planning, and our spouse tip to keep that spark alive in your relationship.
Yes, ma'am, the wrap up.
Yes.
So Ree, would you like to start us off with today's sugar?
So today's sugar is book your trip using travel sites. You don't have to pay the entire honeymoon one time. You can use these perfect installment programs that they have nowadays. So that way you can pay it bit and bit without having to make a huge investment all at once, especially after planning and paying for your wedding.
This is true. And today's spouse, reminiscing about your wedding with your spouse is literally like the best cure for post-wedding blues. So, feel a little down, grab your spouse. You guys go look through your photo albums, look at the pictures that you might have made for you, watch your video, and just talk about the time, even if it is like gives you some anxiety. I guarantee you, reminiscing with your significant other about the good times that you had is like the cure all.
And I find it very helpful when you guys run into some conflicts, because everything isn't peaches and cream all the time. So whenever you guys get into those little debates and you're like, I can't stand your face. Watch a video. That might change your mind, and then you might get happy and get over the argument.
That's true.
Right.
That's it for today.
Yes. So thank you guys for tuning in with us, and be in tune with the rest of our season for a lot of new things coming your way.
Yeah, season 2 kicked off. Season 2, episode 1 in the books.